Hello, everyone. Welcome to Connections for Life. I'm Ted P.
I'm Chad Kubo here in Cuba.
That's terrible.
Thank you.
Start this over with.
You can't start that over. That was classic. I can only come in once and that's it. I'd have to just start normal. It would be sad.
I'm Joe Surratt and I have a cough drop in my mouth and I'm going to spit out, so just don't be offended. Sorry.
Good.
Hi, guys.
I'm back. What's up?
Welcome 2021 to the Connections for Life webcast, YouTube channel, all of the above, Gas Utility Weekly Update Show. We fit all of these things here. For those of you guys who are joining us for the first time, this thing started back in April of 2020 as the three of us were just trying to stay relevant to our customer base and to the connections that we share within the natural gas industry. It was something that we started out of a means of necessity and now has turned into something that, I don't know.
Yes.
I can't. Well, to me, it's turned into something that I can't really replace. It's I get to talk to you guys multiple times a week. Joe about 400 times a week. Probably more than I talk to you guys when I was in the car all the time. So it's been a lot of fun. Yeah, it's been fun.
Am I supposed to say something now?
You don't have to if you don't want to. You can talk about the awesome cars behind me if you want.
Yeah, the 1960s. What are you in Cuba?
Yeah.
Is that Cuba? Is it?
Yeah.
I thought so. Yeah, Havana. So no, I just I don't know. It's been a year, right? Almost. It's
almost getting there.
Here we are. I think this is episode 40. I didn't think we would make it past episode 3. And now we're at 40 and moving forward. I echo Chad's sentiment. It's just become kind of part of our lives. It's it's something that we used to be a burden and now it's just folded into our everyday fabric of our jobs and our lives. So it's been a good time. We're excited about 2021. I think we touched on that last week and yeah, here we are.
Well, as we push into this new year, we mentioned in the update special last week, we're going to try to do some more regimented segments and just continue to kind of shape the show towards what 2021 is bringing in and into the future of the industry. We're going to branch out into some things, but today, why don't you tell us who we actually no, let's do a little industry update. How about that? What do you got for an industry update?
I'll give you the utility update. We're going to have to come up with a good little jingle like the gas fact thing. That's at the end though, but this one we'll have to have a good little jingle. I wanted to bring up this week or that something that happened last week or is happening. We believe that the approval of the sale of Mountaineer Gas to UGI out of Pennsylvania for $540 million, I believe it is actually the cost of it, and it would add about 215,000 services to UGI. So about 215,000 services Mountaineer Gas has in West Virginia. Proud and happy that they're one of my customers. I love those guys. Interesting stuff with UGI. Looking to purchase them though. It's
Speaking of Mountaineer, we should get Jim. We should get Jim McCoy on the show. That just popped into my head. We should get Jim from Mountaineer on. Sorry, I was just.
He would probably do it too, but of course this is probably Jim after he's been at the gas company for 51 years. This is probably like the 17th time the company's been sold.
Just give him a new shirt.
That was my update this week. If you read anything about it, UGI is real excited about it since some of their service territories butt up against each other with the Pennsylvania West Virginia border. So that's all I got. I don't know if we had any other ones for that, but go ahead.
No, I think it's a good start. Pretty interesting news. Yeah, I didn't see that one coming. I know we found that out a week or two ago. We saw it online. So congratulations to UGI and Mountaineer. It's probably a good marriage. I think you guys will do well together.
Additionally, in an industry update, the 2021 Plastic Pipe Joining Qualification Program Manual has been released by NGA. I got my copy today, and I am personally actually really excited to read through this to see some of the changes because they're affecting the industry.
You can't. Are you serious? You can't be excited to read that whole book. You need somebody to just go through it and tab the changes.
It's not like that's like a 40-minute worth of read.
That's going to take you about 2 months.
It will not. Stop it. 6 months.
There'll be a test next week.
But seriously, I'm really excited about it to learn what new rules they've implemented in our industry as far as plastic pipe joining goes. We know there's been some stuff on the horizon that UPSCO has we've been preparing for years. with some of the tooling lines and equipment lines that we brought in here, we've been preparing for some of the rules that took in place here and were put in place here. Excuse me. English is not good.
Good one.
Me
Token.
talking.
That's why we don't let you talk that much.
I didn't say token. I said took, but I still caught myself. Regardless.
In other news, for Connections for Life, we're looking for a new co-host, one that can actually
That can possibly speak
talk
and read
properly
quicker.
and read. 3 qualifications.
Can't do any of that.
No. I know. That's why we're looking for.
I press record.
There's Joe. Before you go, there's absolutely exciting news. I think we'll probably release it next week. We're talking a little bit.
No, go ahead. Talk about
Want
it.
me to? Yeah.
Which one?
The Expo extension.
Well, let's talk about the end of the show.
Yeah. Let's
Okay.
close the show with it. All right. Chad, who's coming on today?
So we have Tommy Houston from Smith Blair, which is now a Xylem company. They've been sold a couple times over the last 30 years or however long they've been around. But Tommy's been in the industry since about 1982. Mr.
About
Mike Talent is the
1982?
previous guest. What'd you say?
About 1982 or
I
1982?
think I couldn't remember if it was 81.
All right, gotcha.
About
Fair
82.
enough. I just want to clarify.
He was hired by a previous guest, Mike Talent. Pretty many people know that name. To join the industry. He worked for a coating company at one time before he got into the coupling industry, and now he's managing the sales department in the coupling industry for Smith Blair in the water and also the oil and gas. So and he's done some really cool stuff. So Ted, I'll leave you with your line before we bring him in. Go ahead.
So without further ado, join us with our interview with Tommy Houston.
Hello, Tommy, and welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
What's going on,
Hey,
Tommy?
Tom.
How are you?
Good.
How's the top of Everest? It's pretty chilly up there.
Hey, well, we'll get to that later. Let's slow
It
down.
wasn't chilly.
Sorry,
It was
I'm
not enough air.
Jump ahead.
Not enough air.
Tom, we'll just ask you and start with the same question that we start with everybody. First and foremost, thanks for taking your time to be on the show. But let's just talk about how you ended up in the industry. How did you get your start?
Kind of a strange tale. Actually, I went to Penn State. I was a polymer science major, polymer chemist. I kind of got to that point of my senior year, and I was just like, I'm not a chemist.
Took him the senior year to figure that out.
Yeah, exactly. I was literally mixing A and B in a beaker, and I went, oh my God, I can't do this the rest of my life.
It took me 3 weeks in college, so I mean, you hung on a lot longer than I did.
So what do you do? Sales. So I actually, when I got out of school, tried to interview with a few people, and I interviewed with somebody that's near and dear to everybody's heart, Mr. Mike Talent, who at that point in time was the sales manager at Royston Laboratories in Pittsburgh here, the Green Line, Mastics, and things like that.
The fact that Mike managed other people is amazing.
Yes.
It's
Believe it or not, there was articles at the Carnegie Library on Mike because I went to do some research before my interview with him, and yeah, exactly. It was kind of interesting.
That's fantastic.
Was it all in the police blotter? Or?
There was a wanted poster in the folder. I wasn't exactly sure. But so that's I ended up getting into the coating industry back in 1986, and then you know how this business is. Once you're in, you can move almost anywhere.
You don't leave the industry though.
Exactly.
Correct.
Just change the name on your shirt.
Yeah. We had Velcro. We had Velcro for a while.
Yeah, right.
Took a new one on.
So essentially, Tommy, that leads us into the next question. You know, in 1986, you were in the coating side. How did you just tell us? I guess take us into how you got involved with Smith Blair, and then just a little bit about what Smith Blair does now, and your parent company Xylem. Just a little bit about them too, I guess.
Okay. In '86, I was in the coatings business and got to know a lot of different people, and was fortunate enough to bump into a gentleman by the name of Jim Royston. And Jim was the owner of. Yes, his uncle had started and his father had started Royston Laboratories, but Jim was running a company by the name of CSI, Coupling Systems, Inc. And I ended up going to work for him in '92 and worked with those guys as the sales manager until 1997. And at that point in time, we were Dresser's biggest thorn in their side. And we got bought out, or actually we sold out to a company by the name of Smith Blair. At that time, they were BTR and Vensis, and there's a whole litany of names. But that was May 5th, 1997 that I started working for Smith Blair, and been there ever since. And about 3 or 4 years ago, we were bought by this company, Xylem, which I know to the gas folks, it's probably not a name that you're used to hearing, but roughly 5.5 billion in sales, operate in multiple countries, 15,000 plus employees. Their history has been really on the sanitation side. So we're talking about water treatment, that type of thing. The analytics, the materials, they have their primary is gold pumps, flight pumps, things like that. Some names that some people might have seen. And what they wanted to do, and it's a really interesting vision, was, Census, who's our owners, has the potable side and a lot of analytics and the abilities to transmit data and things like that. So all of a sudden you had this potable side with the dark side, the sanitation side, and you put the two of them together. And all of a sudden it becomes kind of intriguing when you're looking at, a treatment plant that is sending out water, treated water, to a system, and they can literally look at a balance, right? I'm putting out 1 million gallons and you're looking at metering and, hey, I'm only getting 500,000. What's up? And, they're finding leaks and things like that.
That's
So
pretty neat.
there's a lot of things that they're doing, tying the analytics together on that side. And that was the vision of our president, Pat Decker, who's just a really interesting guy. And, but it's working out. It's taking some time to put it all together, but there's a lot of cooperation across the board.
It's like groundbreaking, actually. Completely outside of the box thinking.
Yeah, he has a vision, and we're doing a lot of that even in third world countries where the systems are non-existent, and it's just it's an interesting vision.
So that data driven analytics, I'm a data geek, so
Okay.
I may not look like
Who's
one.
the geek?
Yeah, I was gonna
Yes,
say,
I-
you can drop the
The
data.
whole punchline, Chad. Dang.
Don't you guys have a boom?
Yeah, but that's very, very interesting to me. And now we all know with the PHMSA ruling and regulations that came down, one of the benefits of being a Smith Blair distributor like we are was the fact that you guys were very, very ahead of the game with the testing level of it. And was that all tied together with the data-driven focus of the organization, or was that just a coincidence?
Just kind of a coincidence as we heard some of the data coming out on the PHMSA, and it's intriguing that the Cat 1, which is that when you're talking about putting it onto polyethylene pipe having full yield, basically the fitting itself grips stronger than the integrity of the pipe. We tried to do that all the way back to the CSI days, and struggled a little bit with it, and just it was way over the top of what was ever required until the PHMSA ruling. And so the good news was we do have the financial muscle and the power to throw a lot of resources at that, trying to get the Cat 1 when you're talking about having the power of Xylem and everything else behind us, and managed to get everything done. I think actually this week, we probably got a couple more weeks, on the 12-inch. And
awesome.
the line will be completed. So
that's great.
the testing was rather stringent, and it's
Good question, Teddy. Right out of nowhere too. I like that.
Listen, man, you paid attention. I was listening when he was talking. I was trying this new thing. Great, totally.
Wow.
I haven't done that most of the show.
We're not gonna get too used to that.
Yeah. Don't.
Tom, we all know that 2020 was just a different year, right? We're coming into 2021, and hope we have, like I said yesterday in a little recording that we did, we have a lot more hope that 2021 allows us to do some of the things that we weren't able to do, last year. I know that it affected your business. I know that it affected your position. I know that you had to do some different things during that time, hiring people. I know that must have been pretty unique, not being able to see them. But I guess my question is, how did it overall impact or affect the way that you guys did business in 2020, and what are you hopeful of coming out of that for 2021?
You kind of look at it from two different perspectives, I guess. On the gas side of the business, we are very well established. We have folks like yourselves are out pressing the flesh and communicating on your side. Case in point, this particular recording. And it's a very defined marketplace, and you have good relationships with that. On the water side, it's a little bit different because it is just so large. You know, when you just start to think of your own backyard, how many different townships, counties, whatever it might be, all have their own water systems, and they all operate separately.
Right.
And trying to stay on top of them was a massive. We press the flesh a lot on that side of the business, and utilize distribution as our primary channel on the water side.
Tommy, just to,
by the way, I'm going to be stealing that press the flesh. I like that.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
So
I
sticking with that one.
In
I
a
already
good
wrote
one.
it down.
I'm stealing that one.
Not the creepy way.
No.
Tommy, just to jump in there, we at Upsco, we've been trying to think outside the box and how to get into different things like water, and that is probably the biggest challenge of anybody in the water side, is that literally every 3 miles there can be another company that you need to get your product specified in.
Right.
Barriers to
Wow.
entry.
And here's the good news and the bad news, right? So the good news is there's a potential new customer every 3 miles. The bad news is, like you said, you got to
There's a
start
potential new customer every 3 miles.
So, you know, from that standpoint, so what we've done is, we've done a lot of Zoom calls. I have a mixture on the water side of direct salespeople and agents, commissioned agents, and just really trying to. We do Zooms. Initially we're doing Zoom lunches. That even stopped because of COVID. We've been following our customers' protocols. At this point in time, Xylem is unique in the sense of, for a large company, they're extremely employee focused, and it's all about safety for them. And that starts at the top. And we have every other week, every 3 weeks, we actually have ask Pat Decker, CEO, anything kind of meetings, Zoom meetings.
Cool.
And their whole deal is, we're not on the road again until after Q1 this year. We stopped traveling unless it's an emergency or a customer requires us in March of last year.
Same.
So I have nine or 10 people that haven't spent this much time at home in a long time.
That's awesome.
I have a question for you. You said that once a week or once a month you got to ask Pat Decker question.
Yeah.
Can you ask him for us? Will he come on our show? Like, can you use that as your question?
Yeah. Seriously, it would be amazing.
You guys are pretty rowdy. I'm not sure.
No, it's cool. We'll wear ties. We'll tone it down. Ted will listen. It'll be a whole thing.
We know how to behave when we're supposed to. Okay, we're supposed to. But you talked about starting at the top here, and that's gonna lead me into the next question here. You've done some awesome traveling. One of them looks like that picture behind you, if that's the one you choose to elaborate with this. But if you were to pick the #1 trip you've taken, which would it be and why?
I've been so fortunate with be able to do some pretty cool stuff and travel the U.S. pretty extensively. But I have in 2010, I went to Everest Base Camp. That's the picture behind me there. And in 2016, I went to Kenya in the Tsavo National Park there, which is and actually walked 100 miles. It's called the Great Walk of Africa. Two very different trips, and then I actually went to Scotland and Ireland with my wife. So probably I should probably say that's the #1 trip.
Happy wife, happy life.
That was probably the most relaxing, right?
Actually, so I think the Everest was my midlife crisis. 45. Do you still have the physical and the mental discipline to do something like that? And it literally took that, because sleeping in tents at 17,000 feet was a little bit different. Probably my favorite trip, if I had to pick one, Africa. You spend your life when you go to zoos and things like that with all little kids with the elephants and the lions and everything like that. And then to be able to walk out without cages and without everything else out in their neck of the woods, if you will.
See, I prefer the cages. I don't know. I like that part of the zoo experience.
But it was just very different. I remember.
How long were you there, Tommy? I think I know.
It was 10 days in the Tsavo, and we were averaging probably 10, 11 miles. One day, I think we were actually a little bit more than that a day. But, you know, at night, and this was not roughing it. Okay. This was glamping at its best. Cooking was excellent. I had a tent and a cot. So, you know, there's no complaints about sleeping on rocks. Everest, I was slept on rocks. But, you know, to be laying in my bed at night and, you know, kind of have the tent flaps open and all of a sudden you just see an elephant walk down the middle.
Oh, that's crazy.
Wow.
And just, you know, these enormous animals, pure silence. It just, you know, it was very different from that standpoint. And I enjoyed it thoroughly to know that you could go still see something like that and take part in it in a safe manner. It was cool. It was very cool.
Awesome.
Do they have any do they have any Hilton Garden Inns over there?
And did they give you
not
points?
on the trail. I'll tell you right, I'll have to send you a picture of the place we stayed in.
Yeah, we'll post
Nairobi
it. Send it
the
to
first
us
night.
if you don't
Send
mind.
it to us. We'll post it for sure.
Yeah, we'll post it up there on your.
It was a little stupid. And actually, my wife said, she goes, at that time, she was not my wife. She said, I'll go, but I'm staying there. And I'm like, yeah, no, we can't afford to stay there. But,
We'll drive by, take pictures.
Mm.
Well, I just want to say thanks, Tom, for coming on. It's just a different time, and hopefully that, this, changes going forward. I mean, with the vaccine and everything, hopefully we can get back out there and you can get back traveling. I know you had a couple trips that were canceled because of this, and hopefully those get to happen and you can go on those. I know that it's something that you thoroughly enjoy, but we just want to say thanks. Thanks for coming on the show. Thanks for the commitment to UPSCO, and thanks for everything that you guys have always done for us in the organization. We truly, truly appreciate it.
well, I appreciate what you guys have done. I mean, it's been a long relationship. I think I've been dealing with UPSCO since about 1992. So not a better organization out there. I understand that you guys are going to have a virtual UPSCO Expo.
We did it already.
We had it. Yeah.
We had it.
I was
but
on the
we're
original. I was on the original circus route with the UPSCO.
We got
Expo.
another one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
found
great.
some old pictures
Yeah,
on our
I'll tell you
Facebook
what.
page the other day of the road show that used to take place, the UPSCO trade show in
Road
Moreno.
show.
I found some pictures of that on our old Facebook.
Oh, really?
along with a very, very young, dapper Joe Surratt who got hired and posted.
Yeah.
So, good
Oh, I
stuff.
like that, Teddy. We should share that stuff. But that's
It's-
awesome, Tommy. Before we head out, I just want to say thanks for believing in us. Thanks for coming on the show, and we're gonna have a great year. It's just gonna keep getting
And
better.
just let Mr. Decker know that we'll be giving him a ring.
Use our question. Yeah, you're one of us.
Is that a warning or?
No,
little
that's
bit about-
that's your assigned question for the week.
A little bit of both.
Okay.
We'll check in later to make sure you completed your assignment.
Yeah.
All right, Tommy.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Hey,
Appreciate
guys.
it.
Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much.
Tom. It's good seeing you.
Tommy, great interview. Thank you for joining us here on the show. I love
It was
those.
a lot of fun. The Everest and the Africa stories are awesome. They really are. It makes me want to do neither of those things though.
Makes
No,
me
I'm good. I'm good with just hearing his stories. I can kind of form my own memories.
Joe
We'll
had
do
a
that.
story at a bar one night. This one time I did a 100-mile walk in Africa.
Yeah. And there's elephants everywhere. It's crazy.
If I pay attention real well, I can tell it again myself.
We gotta
Yeah,
record
right,
it.
seriously.
That should be fine.
Yeah, I just got to pull it up on my phone. No, Tom, thanks for coming on. Pretty cool stories, pretty cool guy. We've known him a long time. He's been in the industry a long time, and we really appreciate your
Lots of fun.
cooperation and getting on the show. We started off with how are we going to get people on the show, and then we kind of. Now we're here and we're like struggling to keep up with people on recording and keeping on the show. So it's a good problem to have, but thanks again. We really appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you in person here. Hopefully soon. I know we've been saying that for a long time, but still fingers crossed that happens at some point. So
I want to just bring up the fact that Joe, I think, has a gas fact.
Oh,
fact.
before that, that's why I locked the door. I could hear my children getting yelled at by my wife, so I locked it because she's gonna be like, "You're kids," and I'm like, "Hold on, let me lock this."
Slow down.
you might want to put up one of those boots. Remember those things? The things you jab in before?
Under the handle.
Yeah, whatever those were called. I can't remember now.
But now it's time for the favorite part of the show. Yes.
Is that the favorite part? It's not my favorite part of the show.
My favorite part to say gas back.
Yeah, gas fact.
So this is going to be another interactive one for you guys. So we all know that natural gas has to be chilled or cooled to basically create LNG, right? Liquid natural gas. So does anybody know what temperature that needs to occur at? I'm gonna go with no.
Hold on, I'm gonna guess though.
I'm gonna guess. I want to guess too, but
When? You guys gonna wait 45 minutes or you
I,
gonna look it
thought-
up?
I,
Or what are you
just
gonna do?
had, I had to process a few things like where water
Yeah.
freezes, and then to figure out how
Yeah.
much that, like how much moisture is in
Okay,
the
you've had
natural
enough
gas.
processing time. Ding, ding,
It's
ding.
-7. -7.
Negative
Celsius.
6.5.
You are not even close.
No, 6 degrees.
It's negative 260 degrees Fahrenheit,
Holy crap! Really?
which is also negative 162 Celsius for our Canadian followers.
So
yeah.
I have a stupid question. You probably don't know the answer. Maybe we can look it up for next week.
Maybe I do know the answer.
Once it becomes liquefied natural gas and you put it into your essentially tanker or whatever
Vessel.
it's going into, does
Yeah.
it have to stay that cold, or because it's in that tank that it cannot evaporate into? I don't know. Like I have no idea. That's a weird question.
I think once it's compressed and liquefied, then you don't need to keep it that cool. And the only reason I say that is because there's natural gas vehicles, right, that run on
Yeah.
right.
natural
Yeah,
gas.
that's where I was.
Those cars aren't keeping it at negative 260 degrees. So I assume that it just has to be contained in a vessel once it's liquefied to stay in that
Interesting.
state. I don't know that to be true. That's my guess. But there's one other fun question. So with that being said, obviously liquid natural gas does a lot of things, but one of them is to power vehicles, right? We know that. How many natural gas powered vehicles are there in the world? Let's go with the world.
Oh,
In the world, less than 1 million.
is he hot or cold?
Say again?
Is he hot or cold?
I'm not telling you.
Cold if it's LNG.
275,000.
23 million.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, they're counting like forklifts and stuff like that.
Probably. I don't know. That's a vehicle.
Still
But
a fair more than
United-
I thought it was by
the
22 million.
The interesting part about that is that there's only 107, not only, but there's 175,000 in the U.S. So,
Wow.
a vast majority
the
are
world
not.
is using
not-
it. Pretty predominantly.
Seems to be, according to my
That's
internet
interesting.
search. Yeah.
So there's a company I used to do business with in my previous life, and they switched their entire fleet. They deal in the sweeteners industry. So essentially they like make the sugar for Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks and stuff like that, right? And they switched their entire fleet of vehicles, tractor trailers, all their fork trucks and everything inside their complexes over to liquid natural gas. And they put a liquid natural gas station at their facility. It's right off of 390.
You have to, because there's nowhere else
Yeah.
to get it.
Yeah.
A lot of gas utilities have done that too. I've been to many that have gas vehicles or trucks and crew trucks and things that run on liquid natural gas. Initially, from what I recall, I think it was kind of difficult because it took a long time for them to fill.
Yeah.
Once they got, but I don't think that that's the case any longer. I think it's kind of just like going in and pumping gas now. So
It's
lot of
there's
cities
a lot
have-
of them on Route 6 in northern Pennsylvania there where all the shale play was. There's a ton at those
yeah.
Speedway.
Yeah.
I forget what the big gas station is, but there's a lot. I think it's become a lot more efficient.
Yeah, it's just it's just kind of a neat little fun fact there. I thought we'd throw
That's
something
awesome.
out
I like that
A
one.
ton of public transportation as well, large buses and stuff, and major
Yep, 100%.
they powered by liquid natural gas. So
Cool. I wanted to bring up the one last thing. Everybody, I know if you're a loyal watcher, you knew that we did the Upsco Expo in December.
looks like you're looking
Early-
for the house. Neither of them.
Or it was early December. That is coming out, and we are having the Upsco Trenton Corrosion Expo, and that's going to be March 16th, 17th, and 18th. We're jumping out into the wild world of corrosion. We're going to have some really good presenters very early on in the stages here, just really putting together a schedule. But we've got some really, really, really good presenters, mostly presenters from the utilities as well, guys that are out doing this in the field every day. So it should be pretty neat. I'm
A
excited.
lot of operators, and again, the whole goal of this is to be educational. We try to do it with the expo, and I think we did a fair job. I think this will be a little bit different because again, there'll be mostly people that are operators and people that have a long history and very well established in the corrosion industry. We've been very fortunate to get the people that we have already on board. The schedule will come out. You'll see the people. That'll probably be in the next week or two. But just stay tuned. We're really excited about this one, and hopefully it's creating some more value for everybody out there.
And glad to have Frank Rampton on board too. along
Yeah.
with that. We couldn't do
Special-
anything without him. So
Special shout out to Frank from Trenton. Yeah, for sure. He's kind of our inside eyes in the corrosion industry. He knows everybody. He's on tons of committees, and he's just an absolute stud when it comes to this stuff. So Frank, thank
and
you.
he's fired up, which is great.
He is fired up. Fired up Frank is pretty interesting, and we love watching fired up Frank. But no, it's good. We're excited again. 16th, 17th, and 18th. We think, depending on if we get more presenters, we may extend that out a little bit. But we'll have to.
It's right around the coronaversary.
Yeah,
It is the coversary.
Coversary.
Yeah, come on, don't steal my thing.
Man, I was announcing it on a platform, bro.
Tried to steal my thing. Yeah, coversary. I said that the other day. Everybody got a tickle out of it, I guess. But I don't know if that's something we want to celebrate. It's like celebrating.
I think
the
we
death
should
of-
go.
It's like celebrating a death, you know.
We should go. We've been here a long time today.
Have
I
we?
feel like.
Yeah, we have.
I wanted to bring up one other thing, and this is a
No.
little shout out to my. I don't care what you say. I'll just keep talking if you shut it off, anyways. My buddy, my old pal Chad Kuvo. For you guys that don't know, the Expo website, a lot of the marketing, digital stuff, Chad does all of it. All the video editing, and while it's not like top notch and like super crazy awesome, no offense to you, but
even
Great
mediocre
compliment.
for that matter.
but I'm just super impressed with what you've been able to put together and the things that you've been able to do. And for our newest venture, we've started a Connections for Life website. And I know Chad doesn't want me to bring this out yet because it's not 100% complete, but what you've done just recently, buddy, with that is incredible. For you guys that want to see it, it's connections hyphen or dash.
Or plus
Connections.
sign without the vertical line.
No, don't say that.
Remind-
Hyphen dash FOR dash life.com. All of our videos are on there. Chad's uploaded all of them, put on favorites. We have different segments and sections on there that'll all be getting updated as we move forward. But just a phenomenal job, buddy. I'm really impressed with it.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Kudos, Chad. I know I really appreciate. I appreciate you. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, guys. Big deal for me. Love it.
Now we can go.
now we can go.
That's the last nice thing I'm saying about you
Okay,
for a long
remember,
time.
like, click, subscribe, follow, share,
No one does any of that.
all of the above. One day somebody's going to eventually do all that. We know you're watching. We can see that. Just
We could say we're giving away $1,000 for the first people and then no one would do it. No one does. You know why I'm saying that? Because
Doug
no one
Sable
watches this
responded, go
part.
give me the grand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Doug, come on the show first.
Doug Stafford's definitely going to comment.
Stafford, I said Stabler.
Yeah.
I know, but I want both of them on the show. I know both of
Dougie Stafford's going to go, where's my money, Joe?
them. Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us.
All right, guys.
We'll talk to you next week.